Right then, so we're doing our A to Z of presentation skills, and now we're on I. And I want to talk about interaction. Interaction. When I give a workshop, I interact constantly with the people who are sitting in front of me. And I don't mean by that I just talk at them, I talk with them. I encourage them to speak up whenever they want to, ask questions when they like, as opposed to keeping it at the end of either the workshop or a particular part of the workshop. I prefer people to call out their questions when they've got them, and that is because it helps me then A, to pass on the information in a different way, B, see where they are at and what they're thinking, but also it changes it from being a presentation or workshop into an open conversation. Just an open conversation. Because really, in many ways, what's the difference between sitting around a boardroom and talking and standing up? Well, that's where people start to feel nervous, and that's when it starts to feel like a presentation. But for me, and it might not be for you, and it might be that this is inappropriate, but instead of saving questions till after, I say, if you've got a question, pop your hand up and I'll deal with it straight away. And actually, a lot of people have said this, that when they do that, they actually hit a better flow, because then it's them talking with people instead of standing up and talking at them. See if it works for you. Another thing with regard to interaction is where to position yourself in a room. Well, if you are stood at one end of a board meeting table, or boardroom table, what do they call them? Board table, what do they call them?
Boardroom table.
Boardroom table. A big table. If you're stood at one of those, it might not be appropriate to wander around the room. If you're in a classroom setting, certainly walk up and down. If you ever see me, you give a presentation, I don't tend to stand still unless I want to create a point. But moving in and amongst your people might be appropriate. Interestingly, other people say they find it a bit intimidating. So really it all depends on you and what you feel comfortable with and how you feel you're coming across to your audience. Are you going to make them feel more involved, or are you going to invade their space? Watch out, it's an interesting balance, but I'm sure you'll get it right. I is also for idiosyncrasies. Now, by that I mean the funny little bits and pieces that make us who we are. I know that for me, sometimes if I get a bit nervous, I start to fiddle with my ear. I know, for example, that I have a slight sibilant S. It's bordering on a lisp, but it isn't quite. Some people might actually have a little nervous tick or whatever. They might be self-conscious about their weight, as I was up until recently before I went on a diet. The point is, these idiosyncrasies, these little indicators of who you are, really are that. They're who you are. So if you're self-conscious about them and you think about them and you can't stop thinking about them, they will get in your way. If you put them in a box and just say, that's me, that's who I am. I'm not talking about the nervous fiddles and fidgets that get in the way. I'm talking about the strange little habits that you have that are very much part of you. Own them, enjoy them and share them. How's that? Okay, hands up if you really love speaking in public. If the answer is no, public speaking scares me to death, it's time to retrain your brain, ditch those fears forever, and fast-track your career right now. With my exclusive video masterclass package, learning how to give a killer presentation has never been more fun.
Harry the Hedgehog's got holes in his hat.
Harry the Hedgehog holds in his hat. It's quite difficult. What are we doing? We're smiling. In 28 exclusive videos, you will learn powerful body language secrets to create instant confidence. You'll discover how to start your speech with real power and develop your ability to always energize, inform, and motivate your audience. If you use this stuff, it will unlock the most potent tool you have as a communicator, and that is who you are, your personality. To gain access to this fantastic video offer, please go to my website on www.improveonyou.co.uk.